What's up, everybody? It's been a while, but welcome back. We've got another deck profile here for you. My first place baby deck profile. Um, Everybody knows what this does by now. It's just it literally stops your opponent from pretty much playing and attacking anything. Anyway, we'll get onto the deck profile. So on this side, um, so when this card is placed in your leader area, you can activate one Planet Tuffle from your deck. I'll come on to that in a minute. But when this card attacks, you draw a card simple, and when your life is at 4 or less, you may draw 2 cards and flip this card over. And on this side, he gains Overlord, so you can put your servants at the bottom of the deck and draw 1 card. When it attacks, draws a card as normal. It's got an activate main as well, and once per turn, you can look up to the top 3 cards of your deck and add 1 mono blue card with a counter skill among them and add it to hand. Then place the remaining cards at the bottom of the deck in any order, and then choose 1 card in your hand and place it at the bottom of the deck. Bearing in mind, if you don't have any cards at the top, you still have to bottom deck. So that's one thing to look out for. But anyway, the Planet Tuffle is basically what makes the deck run. So this field, if your leader card is a blue baby, and all your energy is mono blue, when activating a counter skill of a mono blue card, you would with 5 or less, you reduce that in your hand by 1. So it's not a specific cost; it's just the actual full cost. And then it's also got another thing: activate main. You can add 1 card from your life to your hand, and then choose 1 card and bottom deck it. So only time I ever really use that is when someone like your opponent's stalling you out at 5 life. At least you'll be able to get yourself into awaken range. That's the leader in the field. So we'll move on to the unison. The perfect unison for this, I would say, is 4 Majin Buu. Double strike blocker. Once you hit turn 4, you're just drawing card after card after card, and you never tap out as well. So it's one thing I love about this. But anyway, it's 0 tick slash minus. Activate main, draw a card, and at the start of your opponent's next main phase, you get to choose one of your. Oh, sorry. Yeah, you draw a card, and at the start of your opponent's next main phase, you get to switch one of your cards or energy to active mode, or this card to active mode, and one of your energy to active mode. Because at least it's blocker, so you've always got a blocker ready to go as well. And then it's -1 is always fun. Auto. When your opponent attacks with a battle card, you may choose one of their battle cards and place it at the bottom of the owner's deck. So it doesn't necessarily have to be the attacking battle card. You can get rid of another big threat on the board, and you can choose when to do that. Now, the negate package, simple. We've got 4 revenge, big bang attack, and 4 D magic. These, well, I love this card in general because it's basically running 8 dimension magic, and it's just busted. The main difference with this is it's only for blue baby, but you can negate the attack, switch 2 energy back to active mode, and you also get a draw card. The other 2 I run, Mafuba, because why not? A 1-drop Mafuba, you can't go wrong. Hits all the big bombs, and you just play on top of it, and it gets rid of any threats pretty much for 2 turns. Next, we'll go for the baby stuff. So I run 4 Son Gohan, baby's minion. It's a counter attack, negate the attack, and play this card. And also has servant, so it gains 10,000 power for the turn, so it becomes a 25k. What's good about this as well? This effect, the servant effect, comes into play before the Piccolo Unison can KO it. But anyway, when this card is played, your opponent can't attack for the turn unless they choose 1 card and place it at the bottom of their deck. So it's like a blue Topo. And the best thing about it is if you get two off, it stacks. So there'll be bottom decking 2, bottom decking 3. But anyway, next go for 3-drop baby demonic parasite. It's a counterplay. Play this card and switch up to one of your mono blue energy to active mode. And if the battle card being played has an energy cost of 4 or less, it's placed at the bottom of the deck instead of being played. I run 4 of them. I run 3 baby golden avenger. It's a unique triple strike. It's got a counterplay and a counter. Play this card from your hand, and if the battle card has an energy cost of 7 or less, it's returned to the owner's hand instead of being played. But then its counter is negate the counter and play this card from hand. And it is a full 5-drop because it's got the 5 specific cost. You can't lower it. But when this card is played, draw 1 card and then choose one of your opponent's battle cards, ignore and barrier, and place it at the owner at the bottom of the owner's deck. So unless you're going against blue or something, this is coming out because they could just God Seal it, or even charismatic villain can get rid of it. But as long as you've got a God Sealing, it's staying on the field. Then the main card, blue hatchiak. We all know what this guy does. Once you slap it down, you just pretty much buy yourself another turn. Then the other little negates I run. 3 Mechie Orb, bobbing and weaving. It's just negate the attack, play this card, and then choose one of your blue energy and switch it to active mode. So it's pretty much a free negate and play. But this doesn't stay on the field long if you're going against red, because Piccolo will just get rid of it. But you're not paying anything for it, so it's fine. I only run 2 Heroic Prospect. There's a counter attack, negate the attack and play this card. And then if you've got Unison in play, its cost is reduced by 2, so it just becomes a 1-drop. But in baby, if you haven't got the Unison out, it's a 2-drop, so its cost is reduced anyway. And when this card is played, your opponent can't attack with battle cards with an energy cost greater than their current energy, unless they choose 2 cards from their hand and place them at the bottom of the owner's deck. It was good against like Dark Broly, but I feel like Dark Broly's fallen off a bit. And I would honestly say MVP is 4 Vegeta Ready to Rumble. It's a blocker, counter-attack, play this card. In this deck, it's a 3-drop, which is absolutely nuts. But anyway, when this card is played, your opponent can't attack for the turn unless they place 1 of their energy in the owner's drop area. If you negate with this, it's like running 5 hatchiaks. Your opponent isn't going to want to swing again because your energy, you want to keep it, you don't want to get rid of it, just for an attack. Right. Super combos are on 2 of the Vegeta. It's just a bottom deck 1, draw 2, just help with your hands. Then I run 2 Zeno, and you're not going to play this. It just draws a card. It just you don't want it on the field. You want it in hand. But if your leader card is blue and your life is at 5 or less, it's your opponent's turn. When this card is used in a combo, you may choose 1 of your energy and add it to hand. If you do, place 1 card from your hand in your energy. So you can charge like big cards that you might need later. So at least you know they're safe in there. So then I run. It's blue. You've got to have God Seal. One of the most busted cards out at the moment. You just discard it, and the card being played is just bounced back to hand instead of getting played. So we all know what it does. Next, I run 2 Hit Deadly Vanguard. It's a counterplay. When the battle card being played has an energy cost of 5 or less, it's returned to the owner's hand instead of being played. And that's just counterplay, but it can also get rid of another one, another battle card with its auto. So when this card is played, choose one of your opponent's battle cards with an energy cost of 5 or less and return it to hand. So you can get rid of 2 threats with that. Then I'm running everybody's favourite card at the moment, Android 17, Turning the Tides. It's critical, Deflect, and when you play this card, choose all of your cards and your opponent's hand and all the battle cards in the drop area and shuffle them into the owner's deck. So once you get 7 energy, you drop this down, they pretty much lose their entire hand, and you're also swinging for crit, so they can't negate it, they can't like combo in, so basically it's a definite attack. And just hope your opponent's not running the Jiren counterplay. I run 2 Aboonies. We all know what this does by now. It's one of Blue's best cards, I would say. But it's Deflect, and it's got a permanent. If an after image token is in play, this card cannot be KO'd. So it's kind of got barrier. But anyway, when this card is played, you play 3 after image tokens. They've got 15,000 power and 5k combo power. And a little fun one as well, activate main. Your opponent reveals the top card of their deck. If it's a battle card, at the start of the main phase, you get to untap one of your energy. Then, one of my favourite cards in this, Jiren. It's Deflect critical. When this card is played, activate this skill. At the start of your opponent's next turn, you get to switch 3 mono blue energy to active mode and then draw 1 card. So essentially, this is just a 1-drop, like 20k crit. Then I run 2 Gohan and Piccolo. Obviously, we don't run any green, so we can never play this card. What we're doing it for is activate main. So for 1 blue energy, if your leader card is blue or green, you may discard this card from hand and then choose up to 2 of your opponent's battle cards with an energy cost of 3 or less and place them at the owner of the bottom of the owner's deck. So it's good little field removal for smaller cards. And last but not least, I run 2 Secret Identity. Again, we all know what this does. It's just good for a bit of removal, and yeah, we all know what that does. So that is my first place baby deck profile. First game, I drew against Sin aggro. That one went to time, unfortunately, so it came down to a draw. My second game was against a red skillless build. I just felt like it was just a straight win, to be honest. My opponent just couldn't play anything, and I just bottom decking it every time. And then my third and final game was against a launch red-blue variant, and sorry about this, Tom, but he just couldn't do anything. Every time he played something, I was bottom decking it. Every time it was bottom decking it, bouncing it back to hand. Anytime he tried to swing, I was just constantly negating, and he just literally couldn't do anything. But anyway, if you like this deck profile, try it out, see what you think, and let us know in the comments below what you think of it. But anyway, thank you very much, and see you later.